Hey guys, what's up? Today I'm going to give you a pumpkin garden update. I'm giving these pretty often because there's just so much change going on in these pumpkins, and as you can see, it's quite a large patch. It has got stopped growing around there and some of the vines, and it's putting out tertiary vines, and those are growing, but they stopped because I'm pretty sure it just focused its energy on the fruits. And some of these fruits are actually quite large for sugar pie pumpkins, because if it was Connecticut field pumpkins or jack-o'-lantern pumpkins, they would be much bigger, but they're about the size of my hand, so that's pretty big for a sugar pie pumpkin. And as you can see right here, I was pointing it out, it just kind of seemed like if it got stunted and it just stopped growing. I don't know why it just stopped growing. I think it's because it's going to be a second wave afterwards. Once those pumpkins mature over there, it's gonna, because the same thing happened last year. The pumpkins matured, the first wave, and then a second wave set on in the fall, and they grew even more. And any fruits that tried coming on just wilted before they this common happens always after they set fruit. They just abort the fruits naturally because they need to focus their energy on those. And this is what I'm talking about. Just it's set a fruit right here. There's a fruit. This one's the smallest one, and then it just stops growing. It has been like this for several days now. And as for pumpkin wise, that's very slow growth. So this is the biggest pumpkin on this vine. This one stopped growing because it got snipped off by a rabbit. I also have rabbit problems, but as you can see, they're sending out tertiary vines or secondary vines. This is the biggest one for sugar pie pumpkins, a pretty big one. And yeah, I'm pretty excited about all these pumpkins. I saw a couple of squash vine borers today, and there's pretty much nothing you could do about them unless you use a chemical pesticide, which I'm not going to use. Pumpkins are just very mechanized against the squash vine borers. As you can see, they're starting to wilt over here, the leaves, starting to get a little bit yellowish, but many of those people that grow pumpkins do know that pumpkins send out roots by each little corner. You can see there's the root. If I could lift this up, there's a root. They send those roots down deep into the ground at each little joint. So even if it does die over there, the pumpkins continue growing and they keep on producing without any problem from the squash vine borers. Here are a couple of my pumpkins over here. You can see, quite nice. Alright guys, so this is the first time this has ever happened to me. The pumpkin clearly got pollinated, as you can see here. It's about the size of a baseball, and it got pollinated, but all of a sudden it just stopped growing. It has been like this for about a week, and I was just kind of wondering it was in that little space right there, and I was just wondering why isn't it growing, and I kind of touched it a little bit and just slid right off the vine. And it happened to two already. You can see it started rotting already here on here, and I have no idea what is this. If anybody knows what this is this like maybe half pollination? It got pollinated to some point, or I have no idea. Maybe it's just the pumpkin plant couldn't support too many fruits, but it just fell off and it was already pollinated, and it's already soft and squishy, so pretty nasty. I don't know what to do with it. Just leave it probably for the squirrels. But that's pretty much it, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'll update you when the second wave of pumpkin comes in, or when the pumpkins start maturing. So I'll give you a look at some of them. There's a nice sized pumpkin over there. You can see. These aren't going to be too big because they're sugar pie pumpkins and there's so many of them. I have 8 right now, and I would have 10, but 2 of those happened like that, so that's it. But thank you guys so much for watching. Please consider subscribing. As always, see you guys in the next episode.